Well, I guess my question is, she missed the court date. Why didn't she come in at some point? Because that was back in October of last year. Court does call the case of the people versus, is it Cyan Taylor?
Ally's on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, please state your name for the record.
Cyan Taylor.
Your Honor, we are here for a pre-trial. I first asked to address bond, please.
You can go ahead.
Ms. Taylor is being held on a $25,000, 10% bond. She failed to appear at a final settlement conference. I am asking that the court consider reducing her bond to a personal bond. Since then, her life circumstances have changed. She's now in a more stable position, I should say. She, at that time, was essentially homeless. She's kind of bouncing around. Now she's staying with her parents, her family. Her mother is here in the courtroom. She also, at that time, wasn't working. She now has a job at Home Watch as a nurse's aide. She spoke to her mom, who spoke to that, and she will be able to return to that job if released. At final settlement conference, the people were unable to proceed. However, because she was there or not there, the warrant was issued. I don't know if circumstances have changed with the complaining witness at this point, but our intention is to set up her final settlement conference again, depending on the bond, I suppose. But I am asking the court consider changing the bond. She's been in custody now for over a week. How many days?
A week and 3 days.
11 days now.
That she's been in.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, how did she come into custody?
I was at the gas station and they said they recognized me, that I had a warrant.
Well, I guess my question is, she missed the court date. Why didn't she come in at some point? Because that was back in October of last year.
Did you have a phone?
Not that, no, not on, no. And also mail was going everywhere else. So it was hard keeping track of everything.
Yeah. I don't think, Your Honor, I think she should have gotten back in touch with us. She did mention to me just now that her, because she didn't have a stable housing situation, she wasn't getting mail and didn't have a phone at that time. But now she does have, like I said, stable housing situation, is able to be contacted about her case.
In response to the people.
Your Honor, I just have concerns given that this was a fail to appear last year in October and there was no contact with the defendant until she was picked up by police. I'm sure the dates are given, and I'm sure the court is, those dates are given at these hearings. She would have had notice of the date, so I have concerns that she didn't show up until recently.
Well, how do I know you'll come back if I let you out?
I will. I don't want to be
Well, you told me that last time.
correct. I don't want to be here. I want to do better, and I'm not going to waste the court's time anymore. I just want to get back to my job. And I don't know. This was the biggest wake up call I needed, I swear.
Set jury final settlement conference for June 9th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Set jury selection for June 9th or June 6th is my jury final settlement conference, correct?
Correct.
So the first date is June 6th, 2025, 9 a.m. Jury selection, June 9th, 2025, 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in-person proceedings. I'll release the defendant on a personal recognizance $25,000 bond. She needs to have a GPS tether for location tracking prior to release. Court does call the case of the people versus Clark.
Ally's on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Shane Clark.
And Assistant Public Defender Nicholas Bukovich on behalf of Mr. Clark, who is now approaching the podium.
Those emergency motion. Go ahead. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people filed this motion. I believe the defendant was arraigned on May 1st and was given a personal recognizance bond. And this was against the request for a $25,000 cash surety with the GPS tether. people have serious concerns in this case for particularly the victim's safety, with nothing more than a PR bond in place. In this case, the victim was defendant in an argument. He called her a fat bitch, then pulled out a knife. He was held the knife to her throat while yelling in her face, "If you interrupt me again, I'll snuff you and kill you right here." He was so close to her face while he was yelling this that spit was hitting her face. He said right before he left the car, he stated once to her that once he gets his disability check, he's going to buy a 22 caliber gun and shoot her in the head. She's in fear for her life and her mother's. And she also received a text, which I believe, and for it to be read into its entirety, and it says, "You better for real stay out of my way. Don't text me unless I text you. You take my child's phone away again, I'll dismember your whole body to pieces. No cap. I'm overplaying with you. I will literally just kill you and get my life right. Free healthcare. My daughter's safe with your mom. Keep fucking playing. CUNT. I promise you don't know how real I am." And I have just extreme concerns given that he held a knife to her throat and is threatening on multiple occasions in this one case to kill her. And after the arraignment, the victim did send us a screenshot of a text, I believe from March 28th, which was before this case occurred, from the defendant, in which the message said, "Call the cops, I don't give a fuck, I'll murder your ass the day I get out." And that was before this case. So I have concerns given that she has finally reached out to police about this defendant's behavior, what could happen to her, given that he's out on a PR bond for this, in which he threatened her life twice. Oh, probably more than twice, I believe. 3 times.
Response.
Your Honor, I'll be requesting that the court maintain the PR bond with GPS tether. Mr. Clark is currently on a GPS tether. It was addressed that day that one issue, as noted in the prosecution's bond motion, was a concern about a cell phone. Mr. Clark does have a cell phone, which he is using now for his GPS tether that's currently on his ankle. The concern was a lack of data, not him not having that device. He now has data on that cell phone. He received that. He had until Monday today, the 5th, to obtain that tether device. However, he did so within 24 hours. He was released from jail on May 1st, 2025 at 3:57 p.m. I received a call from Mr. Washington, one of the tether agents from Community Corrections at 1:22. So within that small time frame, he was able to obtain data for his cell phone and go to Community Corrections to get a tether. Mr. Clark has also been in contact with social workers, one of whom drove him here today, who are assisting him greatly in obtaining housing, which he is now on a list for those who are chronically unhoused, and hopefully should be able to obtain housing soon, and to be put on a second list as housing vouchers are now being opened again. They've also been assisting him with other matters, such as his health. He is currently suffering from liver failure and has an appointment scheduled for May 9th and one for June 14th, which at that time, his social worker will be also assisting him in getting a hotel. As noted in the emergency bond order by the prosecution, Mr. Clark has successfully been dismissed from probation in the past, showing that he can follow court orders. He does have the money to pay for the tether. He does have transport for the court. And the complaining witness, while acknowledging that this is a serious case, does reside over 30 minutes away by driving. Mr. Clark does currently rely on his social worker for transportation. Again, those, as mentioned, anything mentioned by the prosecution, it's still allegations at this point. We are not here to litigate any of the allegations here today. We are here to address bond. I do not believe there is any change in circumstances that have occurred since his arraignment that I handled last week that would warrant any changing of his bond. He is currently on a GPS tether. The court can know where he is at all times. And I believe that this bond is sufficient to protect community safety.
Is the GPS just location tracking?
It's location tracking and includes an exclusion zone for the complaining witness's address. So he would not be able to get within a quarter mile of that address.
Where is the defendant residing at this point?
He is currently residing at a camp as he awaits housing.
At a camp?
Yes, he has a campsite that he resides at.
Where's the campsite?
By the Miller and Maple Park and Red, sir.
Well, just so that we're clear, this isn't by the Maple Miller parking lot?
Yes, sir.
So this isn't a commercial campsite. This is just a place that you have.
But I'm holding out until I can get help, sir.
Yes, which he is part of the Pathway Housing Program, I do have a letter from that social worker here, if you'd like that, Your Honor. And Ms. Montaigne, the coordinator for that program, is in the courtroom at this time.
Pardon?
Ms. Montaigne, the coordinator for that program, is also in the courtroom. She is the one who helped Mr. Clark get arrived at the court today.
The only address I have is a South Line address. Is that a correct
I
statement?
believe so, Your
How do the defendant and the alleged victim in this case, how do they know each other?
Honor. I believe they have been in an on and off relationship since January of 2018, and they have one child together, and that his previous DV from 2021 was with this same victim,
The child who resides with mom, is that?
with her mother,
Her mother.
the victim's mother.
It's the magistrate did order no contact with the victim's mother as well on the day of the event.
I see that, but so does the victim reside with the mother also?
I believe so, because it says the child attends school in South Line as well, so I believe so.
How old's the child?
Born in 2019.
Oh, 6. 5, 6. The defendant's not working.
The defendant is working on getting a disability at this time due to some of his medical concerns.
Yeah, then how is he paying for the tether?
He does have some, he has shared with me, he does have some money for the tether.
Panhandle and pick up cans and do work for a lady that I know whenever she needs it. She hires me for yard work.
So how long have you been residing at the campsite that you set up?
Since last year, sir.
Are you the only one out there at that site?
Yes, sir.
Let me see counsel in chambers, court standing.
Take a seat as we wait. Yeah, that's fine.
Back on in the record on the Clark matter. I've had an opportunity to speak with counsel in chambers, and what the court is going to do at this time, and Mr. Clark, I need you to understand what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave you on the GPS tether. I'm not going to increase any monetary bond that might incarcerate you. Okay, you understand that, sir?
Sure.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, at this moment, increase the exclusion zone on your tether for all of South Lyon. Okay?
I understand.
And then, and I don't want it put on the record, but I'm also going to add a provision of no contact with the minor child. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then once the other part to this is that may change where I get more information regarding the victim, the alleged victim and her travels. And then I may be expanding that exclusion zone. Follow me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's what I'll do at this time. I think I'm going to need a new order. So I'll prepare a community corrections order with the exclusion zone is all of South Lyon. And then Ms. Zenda, if you could provide to the clerks the name, the minor child's name, and then we will be adding that to the no contact. So at this time, I guess theoretically the motion is granted. The exclusion zone will be extended to all of South Lyon, and I will add the child's name there. Anything further?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Court does call the case. People versus Kyle Smith Blue.
Alexander, on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Smith Blue, who is present via Zoom. Sir, can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
It's Kyle Smith Blue.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Excuse me, today's the date and time set for sentencing. We have had the opportunity to review the PSIR. We have no material changes or corrections and we respectfully request the court to adopt probation's recommendation.
All right, Mr. Smith Blue, anything you wish to tell the court before I impose sentence?
Oh, Your Honor.
Sentence of the court, place you on 9 months prosecutor deferred sentence. You're to pay $555 fines and court costs. We will apply the bond. You're also to pay $270 probation oversight fees. When can that be paid? Mr. Smith Blue, when can that be paid?
You're still muted, sir.
You're
I think.
muted.
Oh, sorry about that. That could be paid by next week, or what would be the balance after that, after the bond applied?
Well, if I apply the bond, that the whole 500 should go to that, shouldn't it? Or is it gonna be 450? That was a question.
Sorry,
No, it's okay.
that would be 450.
Okay, so 450. So you got 270 plus 50. I think that's 330, 320
Yeah, I can have that paid on the 15th.
on the 15th.
Correct.
All right. Pay that balance then by May 15th, 2025. Thank you. There
Where
should
would
be
that-
no use of alcohol. I'm sorry?
Where would that appear at for me to, where would I go on to pay it?
You can do one of two things. On the screen, you're on a phone, so you'll have to swipe over. There's a QR code that will, if you know how to use a QR code, that'll take you right to it.
Okay.
The place to pay it. Just make sure you have your case number, I believe, with you, and then it can get paid that way. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete an anger management class as directed by probation. There's to be no contact with Erica Baldwin, directly or indirectly. No assault or threatening or intimidating behavior. Maintain employment with proof to probation. Set a review hearing that will be held February 2nd, 2026 at 9 a.m. I will order 93 days in jail. Credit 1, the balance is suspended. Ready, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Smith Blue.
Court does call the case of the people versus Stephen Grisvick.
Alexander, on behalf of the people, Your Honor. It is Mr. Burns. Do you want to go check the hallway?
Or you could just sit there. Either way.
I just saw him.
He was just back there.
Maybe he went to bed.
Like this happens every time a case gets called first.
Yes.
So, here with and on, Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Grzybek, who's present with me.
Your name, sir.
Stephen Grzybek.
All right. Go ahead.
Here for sentencing, Your Honor. We were here last week when everyone very graciously and patiently listened to me ask for possible sentence where Mr. Grzybek would do the Accountable Choices program in jail with release on a tether to probation afterwards. And I appreciate Ms. Pilara and Ms. Senda for listening to me and Your Honor, of course. Mr. Grzybek has been trying to get into that program since he got into jail, but he's been really pushing the last 2 weeks with kites and so forth. And they visited him last week and told him that there's 52 court-ordered people in line before him to get into the course, making it the most popular course in Washtenaw County on any given night. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out for him, given how long it would take him to get in there. He'd be doing a significant amount of time before completion. One of the things I've been talking to him that he's concerned about is his Section 8 voucher. He's worked very hard to get it, and he's about a month away from potentially losing it, maybe a month and a half that he worked very hard to get. And he does have a job for the meantime, but we don't know how long with heating and cooling. That it's been a pretty good job for him. So he's gotten some strides going in his personal life that he stands to lose. And, I think maybe he could have held it together if he thinks Accountable Choices would start in the short term, but I just don't know that it is. So I guess we are asking the court to consider maybe like a release to drug treatment in the interim. To get
How long is the program, the in-jail program?
I think it's 13 weeks, Your Honor.
Did they did they tell you, Mr. Griswick, you were 52 ahead of you?
Yes, because I rode a kite and they came back Thursday night and told me that there were 52 people ahead of me. That's with being court ordered.
Got it.
So there's 52 people ahead of me.
So those were 52 that had not started it yet.
I had not started it yet.
Okay. Well, I guess what I'd probably do is order this. I will, if we can find an alternative program with him out that would work for him, then I might consider release.
Your Honor, I can tell you that the program, the in-jail program is offered out. And in my recommendation, I was asking the court to have him complete the first phase in and then continue the full programming out. So that is how.
That's how it's structured. But I guess my question is it gonna take him, does he have to wait through 52 people to do that? And
On the
then,
outside, no.
pardon?
On the outside, no.
Right,
It's a
but
52-week program on the outside.
gotcha. But you want him to do the first phase of the DV program in jail, but he won't at best get to that. I mean, I don't know how many people are in the class, but he won't get to that at least for 13 weeks, probably much longer.
If the court is considering to release him so he can get started with that program on the outside, I would ask that he definitely have that GPS monitor on, so he can do that.
Let's do this. So, Mr. Wilson, did you verify that it's 52 ahead of him?
I have not verified, Your Honor. Mr. Grzybiec just told me. I'm happy to, like, I can email Mr. Henderson who runs the program or Lieutenant Arnett. Get like a
Here's
better.
what I'll do. I'll order what's here. I need it then checked
Okay.
as to how long it's anticipated before he would get in.
Yes.
And then I'll consider changing the program so that maybe he can complete part of that outside or complete it outside as opposed to in.
That makes sense. I appreciate that, Your Honor, and I'll send some emails right after court.
All right. Anything else you want to say before I impose that?
No, Your Honor, I don't know if Mr. Grzybiec had a couple of things he wanted to say.
I just would like to say, Your Honor, I want to take accountability for my actions and I apologize to the courts for going through this. And I just received my Section 8 housing voucher back in November. And I just got it. And if I do any more than like a month in jail, I will lose my Section 8. And I'm just asking that the courts, if I could do this class and with one, if I, I won't make no mistakes. If I do make a mistake, I have to come back and do the complete jail sentence. I'm asking for one chance. I can't show you that chance if I'm locked up, Your Honor. And I've gotten sober back in October. I've been doing these classes prior to me coming into jail. So I had been sober prior to coming to jail. And I would like to show the courts that I can not get in any more trouble and that if I complete this class, that it'll make me even better person for today. I want to show the courts that I can do this.
All right. It's a sentence of the court, place you on 24 months probationary term. You're to pay $555 fines and costs, 720 probation oversight fees. I'm going to make that due and payable 45 days after release.
Emails out.
There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete the in-jail DV program, phase 1, and then remainder of the program, phase 2, after release. That's what I'll order at this time. And again, I would potentially change that if necessary, once we can take a closer look at when he can get in. Continue outpatient substance abuse treatment. Follow all treatment recommendations with status reports to probation. No contact with Samantha Smith, directly or indirectly. You're not to go to the residence or employment of Samantha Smith. You're not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. You are not to possess weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You're to report to probation as requested by probation, including any home visits. Begin and maintain employment with verification to probation. You are to comply with any circuit court orders. I'll set a review hearing that's to be held July 7th, 2025, 1 p.m. I will order 365 days in jail, credit 40 days served. Defendant to remain in custody until completion of the in-jail Dawn Farm program, or not Dawn Farm, DV program. And then the balance will be suspended with placement on a GPS tether prior to release. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court calls case, People versus Artist Valentine Lewis.
Ally Shannon on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on
Ma'am,
behalf.
did you understand that, what I did?
Yeah, she's gonna be on the tether at my house, right?
Right, but she may not get out right away. They've got to get her over, put a tether on her before she'll then be released.
And can I say one thing real quick?
Sure.
I'm not making any excuses for her whatsoever, you know, and she's done like a lot of mess in the last, but, last Monday when she came to court, she had a full schedule starting for Tuesday. So I called her job and I let them know the circumstances. And they said that they'll, you know, if she gets out on the 5th, that we'll get back a hold of us. And
Okay,
hopefully she can keep her job.
all right. So hopefully they can get her out, get her over tethered, and she can be out.
Do you know what time that would?
I'm not in charge of that. I don't know.
I'll find out.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Valentine, go ahead.
On behalf of Mr. Valentine Artist, Mr. Valentine Artist, please state your name for the record.
Artist Leroy Valentine Lewis.
Oh, I'm sorry, I totally butchered your name.
Yeah.
Your Honor, we're here for a show cause. Mr. Valentine owes $300 on a domestic violence case. He has been in custody for some time.
What does he owe?
Yeah, the $300 is it's a weird number. You did the time on it.
No, it's not really, but go ahead. I don't know.
Well, it's usually if there's the case, they're much higher than $300. He did do 10 months on this case.
Well, hold on. When I issued the warrant for $75 cash. And then his bond now is 1,010%.
Yes, I saw that in JS.
It's plus $100 in warrants fee and show costs.
Yeah, that's right. The
One
real
second.
issue. So he's got the statutory $125 fee. He's got warrant fees, which total $100. So that brings it to $225. And then $75 restitution.
I see.
When I bench warranted him back in September of 2020, I only set his bond at $75 cash because I wanted the restitution paid.
Yeah. Well, he was being held on other stuff. That has all been resolved. This is now the only thing that's holding him in Washington County Jail. So I would ask this court to order him to pay the $75 when he's
Already did that. That didn't seem to work.
When he's really well, I will say at the time he did do 10 months, right?
Yeah.
And he's been in here. How much time have you been in now?
2 weeks.
Okay. So I don't know if you're gonna work when you get out, but order him to pay that and and give him a personal bond. That's my request. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Does he have anybody that can pay the 75? Because realistically, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Because that's restitution. So if he can get somebody to pay the 75, the 125 is just there, but I'd release him.
He says he can pay the 75. You can have someone come up here and pay it as your bond.
75?
Yeah.
Not at this moment. So, I mean, if you want me to do some time on it, I could do some time on it because I got a parole hold.
No. I can't have you do time
On this.
in lieu of restitution.
Well, all right. It's kind of complicated because I got a parole hold right now for Arizona. So when I leave here, I got to go out there to finish my time out there. So I got 5 months parole left out there. So I got to finish my parole out there.
Okay, so here's what I'm asking. Is there anybody that can pay the $75 for you
Right now, no.
at any point?
At any point yet. But not right now, not at this moment though.
Define moment.
Like, when do you think you could get it paid?
As soon as I get out of here, shoot.
Yeah, but when you get out of here, you gotta go to Arizona.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be right back in this boat because the 75 won't get paid.
Well,
This victim's been waiting for 5 years.
I mean, when I get out, I'll be able to pay it when I get out. You know what I'm saying? I can't pay it right now. Well, you feel me? I gotta go take care of that, and then I'll be able to pay it. I don't even live out here, to be honest. So when I get out, I'm going back to Arizona, finish my parole, and I'll be able to pay it somehow. I ain't been out here in like 6 years, 7 years. Like, I don't even live out here.
Well, Your Honor, are you gonna be in custody in Arizona? Or you just,
Yeah, because I just did 3 years in prison, so I gotta finish like 5 more months.
Well,
But I'm gonna be able to pay it at some time though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just not gonna pay it. I was incarcerated. I've been incarcerated in prison for 3 years, so I haven't been able to catch up on things. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, like I just got out last August, so
Well, given all that, Your Honor.
Anybody he can call to get $75? That's all I'm looking for in this case.
Yeah.
I mean, the 300, the other part of that, I mean, I'll waive the $100, the other part of that. Because I get where he says that he's been in, but the statutory fee will just sit there. I just need the restitution paid.
Any family members, I think?
yeah, I can get it paid.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. You have him make some calls, do something, see if we can get the 75 paid. I'll adjourn it out 1 week to May 12th, 2025, 1 p.m.
Would Your Honor consider changing it to 75? So then if he pays it in between now and,
Court does call the case, People versus Alexis Naveen.
Alexander on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Naveen. Ms. Naveen, please state your name for the record.
Alexis Naveen.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, we have come to a resolution. Ms. Naveen is going to be pleading as charged, and this case will be transferred to the Veterans Treatment Court.
Here, correct?
Correct, yes, yes.
Okay. So she'll have to do the sentencing here initially. All right, got it.
Yeah, that was my question. So the sentencing will be before Your Honor, and then,
And then it, as part of that sentence, she would be supervised under the Veterans Court.
and I know we deal with this every time. It's confusing. Does the memorandum, is that done at sentencing or today?
No, I don't know. And I thought when we did in-county transfers, the
Mhm.
memorandum was not necessary. But have I been
Your Honor, it's changed now. They require a problem.
all of them?
Paul Graveline
That makes
emailed.
sense.
and
Go
ex-
ahead.
I'm sorry, Paul Graveline emailed and said, I need this filled out from Veterans Treatment Court. So
Okay.
I think his understanding is he needs it. I just didn't,
That's fine.
I just didn't know when.
I thought, isn't it done at the time of sentencing? I thought, but
It might make sense because it's not ultimately transferred until you sentence.
until I sentence and transfer, correct?
Yeah,
But then if the transfer doesn't happen, it comes back to me, right? So
okay. Well, I will work with your staff to get this filled out prior to sentencing
she's
then.
right there. No. Anyway, all right. All right, so it's gonna be a plea of,
Guilty to the domestic violence count.
It was no contest.
Did we talk about that?
I thought so. I thought that was the understanding.
Okay, if that's the case, Your Honor,
you want me just to, I can adjourn it a week?
if that's okay.
No, that's fine.
The reason being, Ms. Devine, I'm sorry, I don't know if that was with the previous attorney, but I need to submit a police report. There's some steps I need to take if we want to do a no contest.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, and I don't have a problem doing that if you don't have a problem coming back and seeing me in a week.
Not at all, Your Honor. May I appear via Zoom?
I should make her come in. I haven't seen her in person forever. All right. Now, yes, you can appear via Zoom. All right. I'll adjourn this to May 12th, 2025, 1 p.m.
Thank you.
And you're doing well?
I'm doing okay, Your Honor, adjusting.
All right. Real good. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
All right. Yes, Your Honor.
Court calls the case, People versus Bradley Burkeen. It's just one on.
Your vote.
I have three.
There's a felony for me.
Okay.
Ally Zend on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
She is not.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation, Your Honor, Mr. Burkeen is scheduled on 2 cases before the court for violation of probation hearings. Given that he is in non-compliant status and not present today, probation is asking for a bench warrant in both cases.
And which
So the probation cases, Your Honor, is 0826.
and 102132. Gotcha. Both those matters, bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $25,000 cash, surety on each case. Those warrants will issue immediately. He also does have other warrants before. Court calls the case of the People versus Robert Jones.
Ally Zend on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, please state your name for the record. You're muted, Mr. Jones.
Robert Jones.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we're here for sentencing. We have a sentence report and do not have any material changes, additions, or deletions. We did review the recommendation. We do ask that you adopt.
Mr. Jones, anything you want to tell the court before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
All right. Sentence of the court, I'm going to place you on 24 months probationary term. You are to pay $655 fines and court costs, $720 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid, sir?
I'll need a little time, Your Honor. Right now, I'm currently in treatment and I'm not working.
All right. So you're currently in treatment and not working. All right. What
Yes.
I'm going to indicate, there will be a payment plan as arranged by probation. All right. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete a domestic violence program as directed by probation. You're to complete long-term residential treatment at Dawn Farm, including all aftercare, with status reports to probation. No contact with Doreen Schelling. You are not to go to the residence or employment of Doreen Schelling. You are not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. You are not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You are to report to probation as directed by probation, including any home visits. You are to comply with all circuit court orders, if any. I'll set a review hearing July 7th, 2025 at 1 p.m. I'll order 365 days in jail. Credit 1, the balance is suspended. All right, thank you.
আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না
On top of that, it is slightly overcooked.
আমার নাম প্রীতি ইসলাম আমি আজকে কোকোনাট রাইস রান্না করেছি কোকোনাট রাইস উইথ গ্রিল চিকেন অ্যান্ড কোরিয়ান্ডার সস সাথে পামকিনের আরেকটা সস দিয়েছি ডেজার্টে দিয়েছি বাহারি মোহনভোগ
আপনার মানে এই যে রেসিপি জি সব কিছু মিলিয়ে কি মনে হয় সেরা রাঁধুনিতে পার্টিসিপেট করার জন্য এটা দিস ইজ বেস্ট রেসিপি
জি আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে এটা বেস্ট হবে
প্রীতি ফার্স্ট থিং আমি আপনাকে টেকনিক্যাল জিনিসটা বলি ঠিক আছে ইটস ভেরি ড্রাই সেকেন্ড জিনিস হলো গিয়ে হোল রোস্ট ইজ নট দি আইডিয়াল থিং টু ডু when you're serving this at a restaurant or এরকম একটা কুকিং শোতে you don't expect the judges or the customer এটাকে কেটে নেবে on top of that it is slightly overcooked
এখন একটু আমরা টেস্ট করে দেখি আপনার রাইস যেটা জি খুব যে খারাপ হয়েছে সেটা না ভালো থ্যাংক ইউ আর ডেজার্টটাও মাইল্ড মানে মিষ্টির ব্যালেন্সটা ভালো আছে জি জি কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা হয় কি যে যখন আমরা অডিশনে আসি
তখন এতগুলো জিনিস দিয়ে আসলে অডিশন না
আমি
দরকার
এনেছি
ছিল
কারণ
না।
আমি হচ্ছে ফুল প্ল্যাটারটাই সার্ভ করতে
ঠিক
চেয়েছি।
আছে
এটা আমার ইন্টেনশন ছিল।
এতগুলো না দিয়েও আপনি শুধু একটার উপর যদি ফোকাস দিতেন
জি জি
তাও মনে হয় আপনার
আমি
বেস্ট হতো।
সবগুলোর উপরে সমান ফোকাস দিয়েছি, বাই মিস্টেকেনলি একটু ফল্ট হয়েছে হয়তো, কিন্তু আমি চেষ্টা করছি খুব যত্ন করে করার অ্যাকচুয়ালি।
আসলে যত্নের ছোঁয়া এখানে আছে আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি, এবং রেসিপির মধ্যেও আমার কাছে ভিন্নতা লেগেছে, আর কিছু টেকনিক্যাল ফল্ট আছে। তো আমার মনে হয় ওইগুলো যদি একটু কারেকশন করা যায় তাহলে ইট ওয়াজ গুড।
প্রীতি, the chicken has flavor, চিকেনটা মজা, সসটাও মজা, রাইট? বাট বেসিকে প্রবলেম হয়ে গেছে। বেসিক ইজ আপনার কুকিংটাই তো ওভারকুকড।
আমাকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি পোলট্রি চুজ করতে হতো মেবি এই ক্ষেত্রে।
ফার্মি মুরগি ইউজ করলে মনে হয়
পোলট্রিটা
জি।
বেশি জুসি।
অফ কোর্স।
আমার এটা ফল্ট হয়েছে, এটা আমি বুঝছি।
প্রীতি, আই থিঙ্ক ওভারঅল টেস্ট ভালো আছে, অ্যান্ড আই থিঙ্ক ইটস আ গুড এফোর্ট। উই ওয়ান্ট টু গিভ ইউ আ চান্স।
থ্যাংক ইউ শেফ, থ্যাংক
ওয়েট
ইউ।
করেন, আসেন আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেওয়া হবে।
আমার খুবই ভালো লাগছে যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পেয়ে গেছি। আমি কিন্তু কনফিডেন্ট ছিলাম যে আমি ওয়েটিং কার্ডটা পাবো, আর আমি এখন অপেক্ষায় আছি নেক্সট রাউন্ডে ঢাকা যাওয়ার জন্য। আমি আশাবাদী যে আমি ঢাকা পর্যন্ত যেতে পারবো।
Mình đã xong con nhím với cái màu nâu này nhá. Phần những lá mình sẽ tô bằng màu xanh. Những chồng cây mình cũng tô bằng màu xanh nha. Đây nữa nè. Đây là các phần cái cây nhỏ ở dưới của một cái tán lá cây to nhá. Những cây cỏ nhỏ ở dưới á. Phần gốc cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nè. Thân cây. Đây là cái màu nâu nha. Phần thân cây mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu nha. Một gốc cây cổ thụ rất là to. Với tán lá này mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu xanh lá này nhá.
It looked really good. Taste-wise, it is also very good.
থ্যাংক ইউ
কোথায় শিখলে বিফ লাজানিয়া বানানো?
এটাই ফার্স্টে ইউটিউব থেকে দেখেছিলাম অ্যান্ড দেন কয়েকবার বাসায় নিজে ট্রাই করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি। আমি মৌসুমি।
মৌসুমি কি বানিয়েছেন?
এটা হচ্ছে চকো ক্যারামেল চিজকেক ব্লসম।
Looks beautiful. I think আজকের দেখা one of the best presentation.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কি করেন আপনি?
আমার ছোটোখাটো একটা বিজনেস আছে ফুড নিয়ে, পাশাপাশি আমি ট্রেনার হিসেবে রাজশাহী মহিলা টিটিসিতে আছি। আমি মাস্টার্স কমপ্লিট করেছি হোম ইকোনমিক্স থেকে, আর এছাড়াও আমি হোটেল ম্যানেজমেন্টে ডিপ্লোমা করেছি, আর এখন করছি হলো কুলিনারি আর্টসের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা। এছাড়াও আমি কিছু লেভেল কমপ্লিট করেছি যেটা কুকিং এবং বেকিংয়ের উপরে।
সো আপনি রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার?
জি।
সো রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার হিসেবে ইউ হোল্ড আ ভেরি হাই পজিশন ইন দ্য সোসাইটি, রাইট? সো ওই পজিশন থেকে এসে এরকম একটা প্ল্যাটফর্মে দাঁড়িয়ে নিজের খানাকে প্রুভ করা, দ্যাট টেকস আ লট অফ গাটস। অল ইউর স্টুডেন্টস আর ওয়াচিং, যারা আপনাকে চিনে তারা দেখছে।
জি।
অ্যান্ড এটা তো অ্যাবাউট নাও তো 50-50, ইট ক্যান গো এনি ডিরেকশনে। ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন নিয়ে আমি বলেছি, ইট লুকড রিয়েলি গুড। টেস্ট ওয়াইজ ইট ইজ অলসো ভেরি গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এভরি লেয়ার, ডিফারেন্ট এলিমেন্টস অফ ইট ভালো লেগেছে।
জি।
নিচের সসটা ভালো লেগেছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমাদের যদি সিলেক্ট হয়ে যান তাহলে কিন্তু একটা লম্বা সময় থাকতে হবে, মানে এত কিছু বাদ দিয়ে ওইটুকু কি করা সম্ভব?
সম্ভব, কারণ আমার বাচ্চারা খুব করে চায়, এটা তো আমার ভালো লাগার একটা জায়গা যে আমিও চাচ্ছি এখানে যেতে। সঙ্গে আমার বাচ্চাদের খুব ইচ্ছা যে তার মাকে এই পজিশনে দেখা যাক, তো আমি হয়তো বা জবও ছেড়ে দিতে পারি এখানে যাওয়ার জন্য।
মৌসুমি, আমরা আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিব, ঠিক আছে?
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আসুন।
ইয়েস, পেয়ে গেছি আমার কাঙ্ক্ষিত কার্ডটি। যদি আমি অ্যাপরনটি পেয়ে যাই তো আমি যেখানে জব করি তাদেরকে আমি জানাবো আমি ছুটি চাই 2 মাসের জন্য। যদি তারা মানে রাজি হয় তাহলে ওকে, আর যদি না রাজি হয় তো আমার স্বপ্ন পূরণের জন্য আমি জবটা ছেড়ে দেব, তাও আমি যেতে চাই ঢাকা।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।
আমার নাম তাসনিয়া আলী।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
আমি বানিয়েছি বিফ লাজানিয়া।
কোথায় শিখলে বিফ লাজানিয়া বানানো?
এটাই ফার্স্টে ইউটিউব থেকে দেখেছিলাম অ্যান্ড দেন কয়েকবার বাসায় নিজে ট্রাই করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি।
সেটা পারফেক্ট আছে?
আই হোপ সো।
ইটালিয়ান আইটেমে কোন উপাদানটা ছাড়া কখনো ইটালিয়ান ডিশ হয় না?
টমেটো আর মৎজারেলা, ওদের প্রত্যেকটা আইটেমে কাইন্ড অফ এই দুইটা জিনিস কনসিস্টেন্ট থাকে।
অরিগানো অলসো।
অরিগানো অলসো, ইয়েস।
এখানে মৎজারেলা আসছে?
জি, হোমমেড মৎজারেলা, যেটা আমি নিজে বানিয়েছি।
হোমমেড?
জি।
I am very impressed যে you make your own mozzarella.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আর কি কি ইটালিয়ান ডিশ তুমি ভালো তৈরি করতে পারো?
স্প্যাগেটি উইথ মিটবলস, এটা ফ্রিকোয়েন্টলি বানাই। আর একটা হচ্ছে তিরামিসু।
বাংলা খাবার বানাতে পারো?
জি, পারি।
5 ফোড়নে যে ব্যবহার করা হয়, 5 ফোড়ন নাম শুনেছো?
জি।
5টা মশলার নাম বলো তো।
মেথি, মৌরি, কালিজিরা, জিরা, নর্মাল জিরা অ্যান্ড না সরি লাস্টটা মনে পড়তে,
রাঁধুনি থাকে ওর মধ্যে।
ও হ্যাঁ, সর্ষে রাঁধুনিও
থাকে, রাঁধুনি থাকে। মনে করেন আপনি
সেরা রাঁধুনি হয়ে গেলেন,
জি
15 লক্ষ টাকাও পেলেন,
জি
দেন করবেন কি?
আই থিঙ্ক কালিনারি আর্টসে একটা ডিগ্রি পারসিউ করব ফার্স্ট অফ অল, অ্যান্ড বেকিংয়ে আমার আরও বেশি অনেক কিছু, যে অনেক টাইপের আইটেমস আছে, সো ওগুলো আমি আমার প্রফেশনালি শেখার ইচ্ছা আছে, তো আমি মোস্ট প্রবাবলি স্কিল বিল্ডিংয়ে ইনভেস্ট করব সবার ফার্স্ট।
So for now, we'll give you a waiting card. ঠিক আছে?
Mình đã tô xong quả dứa với cái màu cam nha, phần lá là màu xanh nè. Còn phần chùm nho này, đây là một chùm nho chín nha. Mình đã xong cái màu cam này rồi. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu tím nha. Màu tím nha. Đây là cái màu tím nè. Mình sẽ xếp lại cái màu của mình vào cái hộp màu này. Để cho nó đỡ chặt nha. Với những quả nho màu tím nhá, mình sẽ tô một chùm nho rất là nhiều quả nho nhỏ nha. Mình đang tô phần chùm nho với cái màu tím nhá. Một cái giỏ hoa quả gồm 4 loại quả là quả xoài, quả táo, quả cam và quả nho. Mình đang tô phần quả nho nha.
₹15,00,000 পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই, এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না, সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আমার রেসিপির নাম হলো ভেলভেটি কোকোয়া ক্রেভিং।
জান্নাত, কি করেন আপনি?
আমার একটা অনলাইন পেজ আছে যেখানে বাসায় ফুড বানিয়ে সেটা কি বলে সেল করি। কারিগরি প্রশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্র থেকে কয়েকটা বেকিং এবং কুকিংয়ের উপরে সার্টিফাইড কোর্স করেছি এবং বর্তমানে এখন ডিপ্লোমা কালিনারি ম্যানেজমেন্টের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা করছি।
কেন এত পড়াশোনা করেছেন কালিনারি নিয়ে?
নিজেকে একজন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হিসেবে দেখতে চাই।
যখন প্রফেশনাল শেফ হয়ে যাবেন, আমি লাস্ট 7 বছর ঈদে কখনো ছুটি নেইনি। সো ঈদ কমপ্লিটলি গন, হলিডেজ কমপ্লিটলি গন। ফ্যামিলি এটা রাজি হবে? ফ্যামিলি মানবে?
আমি 8 বছর চাকরি করেছি মানবাধিকার সংস্থায়। চাকরি চলাকালীন আমি কোনো কিছু শিখতেও পারছিলাম না, এই বিষয়টা নিয়ে আগাতেও পারছিলাম না, সেজন্য আমি চাকরি ছেড়েছি এটাতে আগাবো বলে। আর চাকরি যখন করেছি তখন আমার ছেলেকে আমার মা, আমার বোন ওরা হলো কি দেখাশোনা করেছে।
আপনার কেন মনে হচ্ছে যে সেরা রাঁধুনি সেই প্ল্যাটফর্ম যেটা আপনাকে শেফ হতে সাহায্য করবে?
যারা এই কালিনারি জগতে আসতে চায় তাদের জন্য একটা সেরা প্ল্যাটফর্ম হলো সেরা রাঁধুনি। সব কিছুর একটা শক্ত হাতের প্রয়োজন হয় কোনো কিছুতে সামনে আগিয়ে যেতে, তো আমার কাছে শক্ত হাত সেই সেরা রাঁধুনিটা।
শেফ আমরা কি করতে পারি বলেন? নিয়ে যাই
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে।
ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
4 বছরের অপেক্ষা।
কি নাম তোমার?
ফাতেমা খাতুন ঋতু।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
ডেজার্ট বানিয়েছি হানি সানফ্লাওয়ার। আমি এখানে বাকলাভা করছি ক্রিম চিজ দিয়ে, যেখানে আমি ক্রিম চিজে ইউজ করেছি হানি।
সো দিস ইজ আ বাকলাভা।
বাকলাভা এবং চিজ।
আউটার লেয়ারটা বাকলাভার
এবং উপরে চিজ কেক।
চিজ কেক এন্ড দেন দিস
দম চিকেন। আর ওইটা নান বানাইছি আমি।
এই দুটো রেসিপি থেকে যদি যে কোনো একটা সিলেক্ট করতে হয়, আমি যদি বলি আপনাকে আমি একটার জন্য মার্ক করব, সেটা কি হবে?
তাহলে বাকলাভা চিজ কেক।
কেন?
বাকলাভা আমার বেকিং খুব ভালো লাগে করতে।
কয়েকটি কুইজিনের নাম বলেন।
আচ্ছা, মানে আমি ইতালিয়ান, তারপর এইভাবে বলবো কি পাস্তা, তারপর পিৎজা। ইন্ডিয়ান কুইজিনের মধ্যে আসে বিরিয়ানি, তারপর হলো বিভিন্ন ধরনের রায়তা, রাবড়ি, এগুলা। আর টার্কিশ ডেজার্ট করেছি। টার্কিশ ডেজার্টে বাকলাভা তো আসেই। থাই কুইজিনে হলো টম ইয়াম স্যুপ আছে, তারপরে হলো থাই ফ্রাইড রাইস আছে। একটু
লেটস সে আমরা আপনার কাছকে সিলেক্ট করলাম, আপনি শোতে এসে শো জিতে গিয়েছেন,
ওকে,
₹15,00,000 পেয়ে গেলেন, এরপর কি করবেন?
আমি নিজের নামে একটা রেস্টুরেন্ট ওপেন করতে চাই, এটা করতে পারবো, এটা করতে পারবো।
15 লক্ষ টাকায় রেস্টুরেন্ট হবে না তো?
যতটুকু হোক, ছোট হোক বা বড় হোক, যতটুকু হোক আমি করব।
যদি আজকে এখানে সুযোগ না পান তাহলে কি আপনার জার্নিটা থেমে যাবে?
না না না, অবশ্যই না, আমি আবার চেষ্টা করব।
আই লাইক দ্য স্পিরিট। আপনার ফুডের টেস্ট ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এখন খুশি হতে পারেন। আপনাকে যখন ₹15,00,000 জিতেছেন, আপনি ইমাজিন করতে বলছে আপনি অনেক খুশি হয়ে গিয়েছিলেন।
না না, এমন কিছু না। ঢাকা অবধি যাই তখন হয়তো ইমাজিন করতে পারবো যে আমি অনেকটা একটা ধাপ হলেও এগিয়ে আসতে পারছি।
ইমাজিন করেন আপনি ওয়েটিং কার্ড পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
হ্যাঁ। আচ্ছা
পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
সত্যি
জি, চলে আসুন।
ঠিকই জানি আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাধুনী।
Mình đang tô phần lông của chú vịt mẹ với cái màu tím nha. Chú Khắc ơi, cái giấy khai sinh đấy có cần ngay hôm nay không? Hôm nay cháu không đi công chứng được, nếu mà cần ngay thì phải dùng bản sao. Nhưng mà hơi tiếc bản sao vì hôm đấy nhà cháu làm có mấy cái. Tưởng là chưa cần ngay để mai cháu đi công chứng thì lấy bản công chứng. Nhưng mà nếu cần ngay thì để lại nộp bản sao vậy. Bản sao hôm đấy nhà cháu lại làm hơi ít. Làm có 5 cái thì lại lộp hôm trước một cái rồi, hôm nay 2 cái nữa là 3 cái. Thế thôi đưa luôn, hôm nào cháu lại đi làm vậy. Tưởng là chưa cần gấp ấy thì là để cháu công chứng thì nó giấy hơn. Công chứng thì công chứng ở đâu cũng được, nhưng mà bản sao thì phải đúng ủy ban. Vâng, cần luôn thì lấy luôn. Vâng. Thế chú nhé. Mình đã tô xong với cái màu tím rồi nha. Mình sẽ cắt cái màu tím này đi. Với phần lông của chú vịt con mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu vàng nha. Với cái phần mỏ và phần chân cũng vẫn là cái màu nâu. Mình sẽ tô bằng cái màu nâu này.